Greeting and welcome to the Intensive Success Growth. I'm your host, Nishant Sharma. Please give warm welcome to our guest, Zachary. Zachary is a keynote speaker, author, and help businesses and serial entrepreneur. Welcome, Zachary.
Thank you, Nishant. It's a real honor to be on your program today.
Okay, let me start with this. Where were you? What happened? Who were you surrounded with that inspired you to do what you do today?
Boy, that is a great question. I think it all started back when I was a very young kid in
Hmm.
school. I had a lot of challenges growing up. They call it ADHD, and it's a learning disability. But it's funny because when you get out of school, they call it multitasking. And then all of a sudden, they talk about how you can do five things at once and you're very energetic. But I went to like six different schools from preschool to high school and never really could find my groove, if you will. A lot of teachers told me I wasn't going to amount to much, I wasn't going to be successful. And I used that as the fire and the drive to say, I'm going to prove everybody wrong. From there, I joined the United States Marine Corps, and I guess that would probably be the best answer to your question was my fellow Marines and how I learned to develop those warrior skills and become unbreakable. Get to a point where I knew once I can make it through Marine recruit training, I can make it through anything. And that was 30 years ago, and it's still every single day. I honor and respect what I learned during that time as a Marine.
Okay. What's top three reasons why do people fail?
So there's really one reason they give up. There is no top three reasons. Failure, I don't look at as a bad thing. Failure is a good thing. It teaches you. The warrior uses adversity and failure to help grow. The non warrior uses adversity and failure to become weaker. And the beauty is anybody can become a warrior. You don't have to be a big, strong, Spartan or samurai or Navy SEAL. You can be just a mom that's working three jobs trying to hold everything together. And so when you make a commitment to yourself and you make a commitment to a cause bigger than you and you do whatever it takes to accomplish that, that is where true success ends. So for me, my definition of failure is real simple and just saying I quit. And that's okay. That is perfectly okay because eventually you get to a point where it is so difficult and it just doesn't make sense that it's time to try something else.
Okay, thank you. So, like, I like your t-shirt, the warrior voice. It has written here, same like. So,
Yes.
what's the your success secrets that other can model from you?
So what I look at is I especially when it comes to small business and entrepreneurship, there's three things you can do. And I'm going to answer your question in two parts. One is for personal success, and the other one is for small business success. Let's start with the small business success. Number one, you have to solve a problem in a unique and elegant way. That's the first thing. Nobody needs another product that doesn't solve something that's just maybe a cheaper or other version of something that's out there. Number two, you have to have an unfair competitive business advantage. Now, I didn't say illegal, I didn't say unethical, but unfair. As a small business, as a startup, we're don't have nearly the features that the big companies do. Experience, money, people, great teams. So we have to have something that's unfair, something that makes us more agile and faster and stronger or unique. And I love the concept of failing forward. I rather have my people fail three or four times in a short amount of time than wait 6 months to get it perfect. Because if you wait 6 months like the big companies do, sometimes it's too late. And then the third one's the most important thing, and that is you have to have really good sales, marketing, and distribution. You can have the greatest product in the world. If people don't know about it and there's not an easy way for them to buy it, it's never going to be successful. And the example I use is bottled water. It's free. But the reason bottled water is a virtually $1 trillion business is because they have really good distribution, they have really good marketing, and that's why you're willing to pay $4 for a bottle of water that you can get for free out of your tap. Now, when it comes to individuals and it comes to personal success, I really love the concept that I wrote extensively in my book, Warrior Entrepreneur, about, and that is the concept of iron sharpens iron. That the harder things are, the more difficult things are, the better and more prepared you become. And that's really how you develop that warrior ethos of using adversity, challenge, and hardship to help you grow, and not looking at that as something that makes you weaker.
Okay, great. It's very inspiring. And I want to ask, what's your greatest failure story? What did you learn and how did you recover from it?
Well, you asked some really good questions. The greatest failure story for me, and I wouldn't say it was a complete total failure, but it was a pretty close, and that's when my business almost ran out of money. I was a CEO. I had started the company out of the truck of my car. I grew it into a $30 million company. And I didn't realize it, but I was the bottleneck. I was preventing the company from getting to the next level because I was micromanaging everybody. I didn't have a good team of people. I was doing everything I could, and I wasn't listening to the advice I got from the good people that I did have. And as a result, we ran out of cash. And the reason we ran out of cash was because we sold too much. Now you may say, well, what are you talking about? Sales is what you want. No, there's this concept called cash conversion cycle, which is how long it takes for you to spend money and then turn that into profit to make money. So you have to buy a raw material, you have to make that into a product, you have to then pay all those people ahead of time, you then have to sell it to somebody, then that person has to pay you, which doesn't always happen right away. And it's that conversion cycle, that time frame. And I didn't do a good job of keeping track of that. So I just kept selling and selling and selling. And as I sold more, we had to spend more money on making more product. And then people didn't pay us on time. And all of a sudden it got stuck. So for me, that was a failure. Now, the way I learned from that failure is I realized that's really not an area that I want to focus on. And I became more of a visionary in the role of our company and hired a new CEO, hired a new president. And that's what really opened up the pipeline and the floodgates for me to be more of a visionary marketer founder and let them really run the day-to-day operations of the business.
Okay. So what motivates you within?
It's funny because winning doesn't motivate me. I expect to win at everything I do. I think my motivation comes from my fear of failure and my visceral disgust with failure. Again, when I succeed, that's what the plan was. I accomplished the plan, but if I don't succeed, it hits me at a level that is just, I can't even describe how horrible it is. And for me, my motivation is to make sure I don't fail. The other motivation I have that has kind of changed and evolved over the last couple of years is I've always been, as we talk about in the story, there's always a hero. The hero is the person that leads the story. They're the ones that get all the credit, but they also are the ones that get the arrows and they get the stabbed and they get all the challenge. I don't want to be a hero anymore. I want to be a guide. I want to teach the heroes how to dodge those arrows, how to be able to celebrate the successes, how to grow and scale. And for me, that's really what motivates me now, is to become a guide and show those other heroes how they can do things that I did good and avoid the things that I did bad.
Okay. What's your company motto?
So the company motto is interesting. It's based off of a Carthaginian general called Hannibal, and it's Latin. It's aut viam, inviem aut faciam, which means I will find a way or I will make a way. And it goes back to General Hannibal that was fighting the Romans back in the eons ago, millennia ago. And he took a thing of war elephants and he marched them through the back door of Rome, through the top of the Alps in Switzerland to attack Rome. And when his generals were telling him, you can't do this, this is not going to work, that's what he told them. I'll either find a way or I'll make one. And I think that's so true with entrepreneurship, is if somebody doesn't teach you how to do it and there's no handbook for it, you got to figure it out on your own way, make a way.
Okay. So how do you find your ideal client, like for your consulting?
I do a lot of these podcasts. I do a lot of public speaking. I do a lot of book signings. And when I find someone that says, I love what you wrote, I love what you talked about, and I want to get more information on it, that's really the best type of clients that I work with. I also use LinkedIn a lot. I spend every day at least an hour on LinkedIn looking at people that are small business owners that have those warrior attributes and those qualities, and I just simply reach out to them and see if they'd be interested in having me help them take them to the next level.
Okay. How do you deliver five-star client experience?
So I think the best way to explain that is I help them deliver five-star customer experience rather than me. I try to show them what they've got inside of them and unlock that. And I do that through challenging them. I do that through very critical, difficult conversations. I do that through showing different things. But I think for me, it comes from an area of love in my heart and that I want to see other people succeed. And a lot of times people aren't used to being treated that way. They want everyone to tell them it's great and they think it's great. And I'll be the first person to tell them that they screwed up and they need to fix it. And I'll help them fix it. But they got to, go through the process in order for that to happen.
Okay. What are you grateful for today?
I'm grateful for being an American. I'm grateful for my family. We live in a gorgeous area called Hilton Head Island, South Carolina. It's like a resort town. I'm grateful that both my wife's family and the hard work that the two of us did gave us the opportunity to live down here and meet these incredible, wonderful people. And I'm grateful for our Marine Corps. I spend a lot of time over at the Marine Corps base nearby and see these young 17, 18, 19-year-old kids that are willing to give their life up for not just our country, but for the world, to make the world a safer place. And I'm just very grateful that we continue to have a new generation of service members that are willing to put the cause of humanity and peace above their personal comfort.
Okay. How do you start your day?
Everyone just talks about the routine or whatever. I don't have a routine. Sometimes I'll get up at 4:30 in the morning and I'll start working. Other times I get up early and I go work out. Some days I get up at 9 or 10 a.m. and sleep in. There really is no normal routine. I kind of like to say that I never have an off switch, which I know is a problem because I'll get up at 2 in the morning, start checking emails on my phone, and then go back to sleep at 3 in the morning. So because I'm the kind of person that does a million things at once, I really don't have a regular routine.
Okay. How young are you?
How what?
How young are you?
How young am I?
Yes.
Well, it's funny you asked that because in the next 12 hours, I will turn 49 years old.
Okay.
So I'm in my very last year, starting on May 21st of being a 40-year-old. And then, as we say it over here, I'll officially become over the hill then in the next year.
Okay. You are not 49-year young. You are 18-year young with 31-year experience.
I love that. I'm going to use that. Thank you for sharing that.
Okay. Who is your living mentor and what's the impact?
I have several mentors. I have several people. I have mentors that I use for kind of life mentors. Some of them are people I've known since I was a little kid that just kind of talk about stuff. I have business mentors, and then I also have some mentors in the military that help inspire me and drive that. So I am a strong believer in having mentors, but also being a mentor also.
What advice you will give younger yourself?
Um, it'll get better, and have the confidence that it's going to work out. I mean, a lot of times when I was younger, I didn't know what my future was going to hold. I knew I was destined for greatness. I just didn't know how and why and what that was going to look like. And in some ways, it's good that I suffered and I had challenges because that helped prepare me for the real big challenges that came ahead. But more importantly, it helped give me gratuity and become grateful for the good things that happen. So I think I would tell myself, just keep on going. Don't do anything different.
Okay. What do you want to remember for?
You know, my mom always told me, and still to this day tells me, that when people mention your name, they should smile. You should always make everyone feel important and everyone feel good. And at a very young age, I was taught that the CEO and the janitor are the same people. And everybody wants to be nice to the CEO, but everyone ignores the janitor. And so that's something that I really hope that I'm remembered for, is that no matter where you are, what station you're in life, what money, that hopefully if I can be in your life in some way or another, that I can hopefully make you feel good and appreciate the person that you are.
Yeah, same like Barack Obama. He follows same attitude. So, um, so how can we support you?
So the best way right now is to just visit my website. It's warriorentrepreneurbook.com or listentozach.com. LISTENTOZACH. On both of those websites, you'll find the opportunity to buy my book, Warrior Entrepreneur. It's also available on Amazon and Barnes and Nobles. But what I really would love is for you to just simply reach out, fill out the contact us form, sign up, and that way we'll start getting you on our email list and let you know when the online training course, the one-on-one courses, and then my different public speaking courses come out. That will be very helpful to keep in touch with everybody.
What would you like to say about your guest experience on this show?
You know, this has been great. You asked some very good questions and got me to really think differently than I typically do. So I appreciate that.
Okay. What's your final word?
You know, there's a great quote from Teddy Roosevelt. I don't have it memorized. I wish I would, but it's called "The Man in the Arena," and it talks about the people that are actually out there doing it, and the people that are doing it that are struggling and failing and coming back up again. They're the only true people that know what both victory and defeat looks like, because most people will sit back and tell them where they did wrong or where they stumbled or what they did, and those are people you'll find out throughout your life that will be jealous of you, that want to pull you down because you're doing something great that they aren't. But you know, Google the speech "Man in the Arena." That is absolute gold for me. That quote.
Okay. Thanks, Zachary, for sharing your wisdom with us on the behalf of our community and team. We really appreciate you. Until the next time, all good wishes to you.
Thank you so much, Nishant. Have a great day.